Moving on, I want to show you this tweet by Max Blumenthal. He says, Israel's military gasses Israeli hostages to death after their families pleaded with the government not to use the tactic. This is an extension of the mass Hannibal orders given on October 7th. And what he's referring to is this post by an Israeli mother. Her son was held as a hostage, and she writes this in Hebrew, but don't worry, I have it translated here. And she says, the results of the investigation, essentially alluding to the death of her son, Ron was indeed murdered, not by Hamas. Think more in the direction of Auschwitz and the showers, but without Nazis and without Hamas as the cause. No accidental shooting, no first intentional murder, bombings with poisonous gases. Ron was kidnapped because of the criminal negligence of all the top officials of the army and the bloody government who gave an order to eliminate him in order to close an account with some terrorists from Jabalia. Oh yes, and they also found that he had several crushed fingers, apparently due to his desperate attempts to get out of the poison grave that buried him when he tried to breathe air but only breathed poison. My love, may I die in your place. What a nightmare you went through, death and terrible agony, and all on the orders of the Israel Defense Forces that you trusted so much and appreciated in the government cabinet. There is no future for this country if this is what they did to you, who abandoned you that Saturday. So what happened was he was held as a hostage in Gaza, apparently in a tunnel. You have hostages held in different places. Sometimes they're held in homes, sometimes they're held in tunnels, sometimes they're transported all over the place. And Israel, it was announced, if you remember very early on, that they were going to get the Hamas rats out of the tunnel by pumping it with seawater or poison gas. And they actually used it. And the families of the hostages pleaded with the government, please be careful with our family members, don't kill them. Of course, Israel didn't seem to care, and they knew very well that by poisoning the tunnels they could be killing their own people. Why did they know that? Because their families knew that. That's why their families were pleading with them, please don't do it, because you could kill our own family members. So if the families knew that, then the government definitely knew that. They did it anyway. Why? Because their priority is actually not the lives of the hostages. Their priority is completely crushing Hamas and destroying all of Gaza. At this point, I believe the Netanyahu government has essentially decided their lives don't matter. The interests of the state of Israel matters, and they believe their interests are actually to ethnically cleanse Gaza completely. So they view the hostages actually as an obstacle in their way that prevent them from accomplishing that task, and that's why they don't care and they're careless, and that's why they gassed this poor kid to death and he crushed his fingers trying to dig his way out. How disgusting is that? And here you can see the article, IDF fails to confirm Gaza hostage's cause of death. The mother claims it's poisoning. The mother of slain hostage Ron Sherman accused the IDF of poisoning her son to death inside a Jabalia tunnel.